And we start this very day by making it abundantly clear that the greatest enemy of a black man is the way that we reason. If not that the way we reason is very, very abhorrent, there is no need or reason why we should be suffering and complaining every blessed day without the courage to do something about it.
I want every one of you to remember these three words. Nigerians, we are no more. Southeasterners and Southerners, we cannot become. And Biafrans, we must be.
Nigeria is the terrorist, not we, not Biafrans. So Finland, you need to get that clear first. You need to know who is committing the act of terrorism. As of today, the Nigerian state, headed by Tinubu and Christopher Musa, continues to unleash act of terrorism against innocent Biafrans. They killed.
The program you're about to watch is coming from the United States of Biafra Media, the ITPS. I want you to pay attention to every information that you're going to hear in this video. It is very educating and it will inform you of the situation in the Zoological Republic of Nigeria and what is going on in the United States of Biafra. Pay attention from the beginning to the end. Every information in this platform is very important. We are here to promote the United States of Biafra under the command of our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa Joko, and on the Supreme Command of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, today under the leadership of the Deputy Prime Minister, Dr. Ngozi Oreboweze. Pay attention from the beginning to the end, and you'll be glad you did. Let's watch and hear what the media is presenting.
Information. The attack that recently happened was coordinated. For example, while the few security operatives were at the other side, fighting off the invaders, they came through another route. They targeted certain places where they know these people converge. So there are some stores that they went to sleep because they don't go and stay in their homes. They've been afraid because of the incessant attacks. So they don't go to the house. They stay together, and it was targeted. So it was like somebody provided information that if you want to hit your mark, there are strategic locations where you can see these individuals, and that was precisely what happened. They were taken unawares. So while one group was somewhere constituting mayhem and the security operatives were trying to defend, there was another set somewhere else. Now, tomorrow has been declared a public holiday because of the president's visit. Another thing the chief of defense staff said was that they were going to be training the locals, and that he said that the disunity in the state is too much. Now, Governor Hyacinth Alia has come out to say categorically that politicians are the ones responsible for the imbroglio in the state. According to him, he said there is a political undertone to the insecurity ravaging the state. And he also said that the non-cooperation of major stakeholders as well as the disunity within the APC in Benue are responsible for some of the challenges confronting the state. Now, remember that there was a time a lawmaker came out to publicly complain that Governor Hyacinth Alia is not playing the politics well, that he wants to do everything alone, he's not carrying them along, and so that is why this insecurity is going on. So if this disunity is amongst them, is it categorically telling us that some of these politicians are sponsoring the killings deliberately to undermine his administration? That's one. Two, is it possible that these are retaliatory attacks because they want to suppress the governor, possibly to do his bidding? And if these are lawmakers within Benue State, you mean that they do not mind their people dying just because of political ambitions?
Yeah, the issue of Benue has multiple sides, because it looks like at the end of the day, the citizens of Benue are the ones that fall prey.
Exactly.
So whatever antics criminals and non-state actors will want to take into cognizance. Because what would be your reason for taking innocent lives? I saw a video where 7 children were killed.
An entire family.
Yeah. And I also saw a video where a man was saying 20 members of his family were all caught in the killings. So how does someone who is a politician want to interpret that he has a grudge with the governor? That is why he sponsored non-state actors to take the lives of those children. It's barbaric. It's the height of wickedness. This is no longer war, because when you're fighting a war, you're fighting, two people are fighting, at least there should be an equal measure of strength, then you cannot test yourself. But when you're now going against children, that means you have gone overboard. You have left every sense of humanity aside. So we're now saying children are now collateral damage. People now you're erasing the future of the Benue people. But when I've spoken to some people who are from Benue, and I got to another side of the story that actually that these people are also part of the Benue community, in the sense that they integrate into the community, they married their daughters, and along the line they had children. But those children are still from the headers community. But along the line, they are now fighting for kingship position. They now say, since we are part of this community, we have now possessed this side of the land, we should also take political roles. They're even having ambition that the next governor should also come from there. That. So this is a tussle, talking about tussle for power, tussle for land, and so on and so forth. So even the Benue people are not coming out to tell us the full truth. Because at the end of the day, you find out that they're just some bites of truth of what is really the problem. And some of Benue people believe that their elite have sold them out. Because they said that their leaders will sell the lands to these people and tell them, if these people refuse to leave, go ahead and attack them. I've already sold it to you. Yeah. Now for you to claim it, I've taken the money already.
So the traditional leaders are also complicit in this? Because 2 weeks before this massive massacre, the traditional leaders gave them 7 days to leave their land. That's what they said. They said they don't want anymore. They don't want to have anything to do anymore with the headers. They told all of them to leave.
It's easier said than done.
Well, that was a command they gave. And after that instruction was given, we started seeing incessant attacks. Not in this large scale anyways, but we were getting reports that the social persons were kept. But the thing is, the big question is, why is the reaction now? When those attacks were happening, the governor was quiet. He never said anything until I think Nigerians pressure him and especially his people say, Governor Aliyah, what agreement did you have with those people? What did you sign? Why are you quiet? Why do you seem spineless? Why are you waiting for the federal government to prefer a solution to you or for you? Why not address the situation? Why not tell us something? And he was still mute. And it was after then he came out to say, okay, based on certain investigation, that they have found that politicians in Abuja are responsible for what was going on in Benue. Then he also said that a judicial panel has been set up. Now, immediately he made that statement as to the judicial panel being set up to investigate what was going on. The next thing, we saw the Secretary of the Government of the Federation saying that that's not true, telling us that if indeed there are politicians, he should name names. So it was like what he was saying was in contrast with what the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, who is close to the president, is actually saying.
Do you know what the Benue people are suffering from? They elected a governor who knows nothing about politics. Because
You sure he was elected?
Yeah, okay, let me say he was not elected, but he's now the governor.
I'm just asking.
No,
because sometimes
whether they like it or
not
not,
really the people's choice.
Yeah, even though you're not the people's choice, to an extent, some people will still tolerate you. And still, at least people were still happy that a Reverend Father is now the governor, things are going to change. Governor Alia is actually a trained Reverend Father by profession. Okay. So what is his political acumen? Because politics is more than just winning elections. It now depends on who you know within the grassroots. And maybe he wants to run the governor's office more like a church, where the Reverend Father is all in all. He's the godfather, he's the head of the church. Everybody passes through him to get one permission or get anything done. That is not how politics is run. And unfortunately, people's lives have been used to checkmate the governor and cut him to size. And I've seen various House of State Assembly members said they've called him for security meetings, but he's refused to carry them along. And no governor can secure the lives of his people without involving the elites, because at the end of the day, those elites are still going to be those who will talk to the foot soldiers, because there's a limit to where the governor can get to. And the governor has proven that he does not have the capacity. With all due respect to Governor Alia, he has proven that he's not the man to take Benue out of this problem. And I'm still surprised that the president, as at this time, has not declared the state of emergency in Benue State. So that, okay, yeah, it's something similar as what happened between the Godfather and the Godson in River State, that just one pipeline that was obstructed and the state of emergency was declared. So what is stopping? Because if the political apparatus in Benue State are at war and using the people as collateral damage, so we are saying pipelines are more valuable than human lives, than children. So how many lives are going to be lost before the president will declare state of emergency? I'm even surprised that they are declaring a public holiday because the president is visiting. What I'm supposed to have heard by now is the president doing a national broadcast and declaring state of emergency. The governor, step aside. Let's have a military state administrator. All the political jargons and whatever is going on, everybody step aside.
Well,
we are now in charge. Yes, let there be stability. Then we can now bring everybody back to the table and discuss.
Nigerians have been asking that, okay, why can't the youth in the communities resort to self-help and defend themselves? I mean, you've heard the DSS boss Adiola Ajayi tell us the same thing. Nigerians, critics all alike say the same thing. Security advisors also say the same thing, because obviously it seems like the defense cannot help. But Governor Lear is saying that he doesn't believe in self-help. He doesn't believe in that self-defense. Meanwhile, the Chief of Defense Staff is actually suggesting defense training. Let's listen to Governor Hyacinth Lear briefly.
And I think that would make some very good common sense. But where you have people who just decide to wake up because of sentiments and emotions that are attached, to what is happening with us and within us, I think we'll be rendering ourselves a bit more vulnerable. So I wouldn't advocate for self-defense. I would encourage us all to keep calling for community policing because it's the only way, it's the only people from within the state and the local government who would understand what is going on with them. I just come to think of it, before now, here in the States.
All right, so that's him. What would you suggest?
The governor
would you believe that that reasoning is adequate?
The governor is just speaking English. That doesn't go anywhere. He's not even showing empathy. He's still being official, because it looks like he's not even moved. I even saw a video of when he was making a call with the president. He was still calm. He doesn't really understand the situation. He doesn't understand what leadership means. You need to lead by example for others to follow. He's not leading the state. He's just answering a governor, and he's not showing leadership. He's not showing that there's any urgency. Imagine in the midst of a crisis like this, you are telling people about state police. We all know the state police issue has been on and on for years, and nothing has been done about it. Who is going to engineer state police within 24 hours? Because when those people know that the governor who's in charge is not doing the right thing, there's no leadership, this will give those guys balls to come back and even do worse. Because this Benue issue even started more recently again, not like it has not been happening before. It happened when the president was in France. And we all know how lip service was played along the line. And so these guys would have, they monitor the news, they see what happens.
Obviously.
And when they get information like nothing was done, this will embolden them. That means we're having 200 today. What happens tomorrow? They come for 1,000 people. So that means these guys are sitting
it's
ducks.
More than if you calculate previous killings. You remember that
most of them are all
last
documented.
Week it's been consistent.
Yeah.
2 days interval. We're hearing these killings, and everywhere was just smooth, and everyone was like, "Have we gotten so used to killing that nobody thinks of any executive condemning this? No sporadic action." The last time we had the chief of army staff was actually there, but he didn't spend up to a minute or
Imagine,
so. That's what we heard.
This is not even Gaza. This is not Israel, Palestine, and we're losing this number of people. We're not even talking about missile attack. Do you know what it takes for somebody to use a gun and machete and kill 10 people?
It's terrible.
It takes time to even take a soul. Then now you are now going as far as killing 200 people within one night. You know the amount of time they would have taken. We are talking about face-to-face warfare. And we're losing this amount of people. And the president, I even saw a video where even some bandits were seen with military wearing uniform in their midst. So a lot of things are flying on social media. We need to ask questions. Okay, you are asking, even these people will now know that they cannot even rely on security. That's how dangerous
United States of Biafra,
I think I can a chief of staff. Dr. Ngozi Olabese. Kenelen Prof. Chioma Ukoma, head of medical research.
I just wanted to clarify.
Madam Caroline Ngozi Mbese.
Saying that when the child
Adadiolamma Akuko Adandi Biafra. This is Kenori na Ulai. Pastor Bam Bam
declare him an outcast because
Iko Kenele no Masi Uche European Rep and all the medias
and any man that sells his
Ndi Chukuji Emehe Nye Diego
just like Esau did.
Jisini Kenolu na Ulai
Which is
Onye Wanyi Gozi Ono.
We're witnessing that. I don't want to take him as a serious person because when something bad, morality has been thrown out in the sense that when something bad happens, everybody wants to kill that's why we see our youth these days when they do some wrong things, he's doing what his mates are doing. But does that mean that what he's doing is right? Every sense of people thinking he's a sane person. Because how dare you talking about then you're bringing scenarios that nobody will relate.
Let's try to look at issues objectively. infrastructure,
Yeah.
or possibly he's looking for appointment from the current government, and you want to throw your people under the bus so you could seem like you are detribalized.